Friends, welcome to Manitowoc Cooperative Ministry Daily Devotions. I'm Pastor Judine Duerwaechter, and I'm here to offer you a daily devotion on Psalm 132 today. This is the longest psalm of my week for daily devotions, and I'm going to give you just a few select verses from the beginning and from the end. And we will see how we can make meaning of this, okay? So Psalm 132, and I give it to you from the translation called The Message. Oh God, remember David, remember all his troubles, and remember how he promised God, made a vow to the strong God of Jacob. I'm not going home and I'm not going to bed. I'm not going to sleep, not even take time to rest until I find a home for God, a house for the strong God of Jacob. Yes, I, God, choose Zion, the place I wanted for my shrine. This will always be my home. This is what I want, and I'm here for good. I'll shower blessings on the pilgrims who come here and give supper to those who arrive hungry. I'll dress my priests in salvation clothes. The holy people will sing their hearts out. Oh, I'll make the place radiant for David. I'll find it with light for my anointed. I'll dress the enemies in dirty rags, but I'll make his crown sparkle with splendor. All right, again, Psalm 132. So what we're hearing in this psalm is a message from David, who's anxiously waiting to build a house for the Ark of the Covenant. All right, now you got to tap into a bit of your biblical knowledge about this one. David wants to build a house for the Ark of the Covenant. Now, when you hear Ark of the Covenant, do you immediately go back to what you learned in your scriptures from the Exodus? Or are you familiar with the Ark of the Covenant because you're a big fan of Indiana Jones? Like I am. Who doesn't love Harrison Ford, for heaven's sake, right? Well, when you, either way, look at the Exodus and know what David was talking about regarding the Ark of the Covenant, or Indiana Jones, i.e. Harrison Ford's strong intention to find the Ark of the Covenant, both of them are obsessed because, of course, the Ark houses the Ten Commandments. And for David, the Ark of the Covenant has been nomadic. They have been carrying around the Ten Commandments in their fabulous box. Talk about the ability to gift wrap something better than I could even do. They've been carrying around this Ark of the Covenant. And now David is done with it, and he's finally making a plan to put it in a safe place and build a beautiful house that honors God, that honors the meaning of what the Ark of the Covenant is. So, of course, Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones is searching frantically for the Ark of the Covenant. And of course, to this day, friends, we don't know where it is. But it's fun to watch movies about their suspicion about where it might be. Anyway, what's the symbolism and the meaning for us today with this psalmist who is, David's obsessed with finding a sacred place for the Ark of the Covenant, for the Ten Commandments. So my question for us today is, where is your sacred place? Maybe it's tangible. Maybe you have created a sacred place in your home. Maybe you have a chapel of some sort, or you have created a sacred place for a shrine for a loved one, etc. I know in my very own home, we have that in one or two places for loved ones who have passed away. And I have found beautiful ways to make a shrine-like experience for us, that loved one is always remembered each and every day. The Ark of the Covenant is a whole different experience. However, this is going to, again, house the Ten Commandments. So it's about, how do you, like David, make sacred what is sacred to you in life? Of course, what's sacred to us in life is the love of God, and that takes a form in many different ways in our lives, right? So what is sacred to you in life? Again, I mentioned having a small shrine or chapel area for loved ones who have passed away. But what about what is sacred to you in life that's right in front of your face, whether it's perhaps relationships. Maybe relationships are sacred to you. Maybe your ministry in life, your vocation is sacred to you. Is there a place and or a way that you honor that and make that sacred? I'm thinking of not necessarily buildings can get torn down, shrines can collapse, which has happened biblically. Basically, the real sacredness about anything, of course, lies in our hearts. And I think that it is wonderful how we adorn and make sacred or house and take great care of something super special, like David wanted to do for the Ark of the Covenant. Ultimately, all of those tangible things fall to the wayside. They all can easily collapse. But the thing that cannot collapse is the thing that is within us, within our hearts. You can be stripped of every single thing in life, but you can never be stripped of your inner being, yourself with a capital S, so to speak. And I think that self is a shrine in and of itself, pardon the pun, mostly with the relationship with other people. There's no use to having, yourself or your inner being a shrine all unto itself. I mean, yippee skippy, right? It's for the purpose of relationships and community, which is what the church is about. So I'm going to invite you today to become what my brother always refers to me as the people whisperer, because people are sacred to me. Relationships are sacred to me. And I'm going to invite you to become a people whisperer, where your intention in life is to see another person as sacred, because they are. And to let go, to drop immediately, let go of all judgment of anyone, and literally see another person as the Ark of the Covenant, as sacred. And yeah, just give this a try and see how you may experience really one of the greatest joys that we can have in life. And that is when we just drop our judgment and just love. Just do it. Just love. So it's just so wonderful. As I always like to say, remember to live to love, and take great care, and have a blessed day. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.